in downtown Fort Lauderdale at the Broward Center of Performing Arts to celebrate Riverwalk's 25th anniversary, and we've got our eye on it.
Tonight's a great celebration of the past honorees and the anniversary of the Riverwalk, which I think has been one of the most important initiatives of our city. I can remember when we passed the bond issue to have this constructed, and we felt like it kind of brought back the old era. When I was a kid in the 50s, right, the Riverwalk was on Riverwalk, and it was on the river. The charter boats were here, and this was the center of activity. Well, this has brought the center of activity back to Fort Lauderdale, and it's been like the glue between the Performing Arts Center, the Discovery Center, our business district, you know, the Las Olas, and it's been a real key to the success of Fort Lauderdale.
About 25 years ago, beginning around 1989, I came to Fort Lauderdale, and they told me they had been planning for years and years and years to do something for the beach and for downtown. There were no high-rises. The last redevelopment of any downtown residential was about 35 years prior to 1989. No new office buildings, and they had been planning for about 10 years on strategic plans. So the mayor at that time, Bob Cox, said, "George, you know, it's kind of like Wilbur said to Orville. One of these days, Wilbur, this plane's got to fly. We got to stop planning. So we want to hire you to be the city manager to see that Riverwalk and the beach is redeveloped." And I was in Fort Lauderdale for about 8 years, and I think I've been able to see a lot of those seeds planted.
I think the history of Riverwalk is the history of downtown Fort Lauderdale. I mean, where we are right now was crack houses on Broward Boulevard. And to me, the thing that I'm most proud of, not just for our firm, but for everybody involved, was Riverwalk instantly became a district. And it wasn't that many years after the first part of Riverwalk was built that you started to see, you know, real estate ads in Fort Lauderdale have always said steps from the beach. And it wasn't long before when the residential products started getting built, it said steps from Riverwalk. And that means a lot, that this project created a whole district for the city in downtown that we never had.
What are some of the most drastic changes you've seen from the start till now over the 25 years?
Well, I think the most drastic change is finally, I think the city has embraced the concept. I mean, it was always talked about as something that could happen in the future and something that we'd like to see. But all of a sudden, when everybody sees the success that the Riverwalk has and what value the river has to the city, and then you see a facility like this anchoring the west side of the Riverwalk, and you see Las Olas anchoring the east side, I think everybody's starting to see the sort of light at the end of the tunnel, and they've really embraced it. And then moving the Winterfest Boat Parade event to the river, that even brought more people down here saying, hey, why don't we do more on the river? Why don't we do more with the river? And we're even now trying to turn buildings around to where the exposure is to the river. And so I think that that combination of the buy-in from the community, the desire to activate it and sort of maximize it, it's working out beautifully.
It's hard to believe. I mean, I've been here for 20 years now in Fort Lauderdale and Broward County. So all of these things came online shortly before I arrived here. But to see a lot of this vision become a reality over this time because of all the great people in this room seeing its value and wanting to dedicate themselves to making it happen is really a great thing to celebrate.
Don't miss out on this. You want to spend the next 25 years down here on the Riverwalk in Fort Lauderdale. The first 25 were great. The next 25 are going to be beyond great. They'll be awesome. Come on down to the river in Fort Lauderdale, spend time on the Riverwalk, help us make it more successful.
Tonight's celebration is for all the hard work that's gone into Riverwalk over the last 25 years to make it what it is today. Eye on South Florida will continue to keep you connected with all of the upcoming events here at Riverwalk. For Eye on South Florida, I'm Jessica Kuzavitsky.